Ask Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of Over Ask. Today, we have the wonderful Paige Steckling on the show. Thank you so much for being on, Paige. Paige, you've absolutely blown up in the last not even year. You went from 1,000 Instagram followers to almost 23,000 followers in like 8 or 9 months.
Yep.
And that was a huge reason we wanted to get you on the show and see what the hell you're doing, because whatever you're doing, it's working. So Paige, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I can't believe I'm on the same show as like Ryan Serhan and like Taya DeCarlo, Glenda Baker, some of the goats. So
Yeah,
awesome.
all friends of the show. So Paige, let's get right into it here. What is your, do you have some secret sauce, fairy dust? What's going on here? How are you so successful?
So I would say not necessarily. I posted my first reel in July of 2021. And I did it for fun. I texted a bunch of my friends. I'm like, hey, I posted this reel. I'm going to try and grow my Instagram account to try and get some more business. Will you guys go comment on my reel so I don't feel like an idiot? And a couple of them went and commented on it. And then suddenly I started getting all these notifications of comments, likes. And I was like, what is going on? I had like 800 followers at the time. And then I looked at the views and I was up to like 20,000 views. And I was like, what is the deal here? Did somebody like buy me views on my reel or something? And then I started doing some research and realized that Instagram will sometimes just push your reel out there because they're trying to get people away from TikTok. And so if, it has good engagement, it will push your reel out and it will just kind of make it go viral on its own. And so from then on out, I started posting more and I would make them educational. And I've really used reels to get my entire message across and portray what I want to tell people, portray my service level. And it's really blown up my account and blown up my business. And I feel like I have a little bit of a formula now for which ones are going to go viral and which ones are going to do well, because I've been posting them for consistently now since then. So I would say keeping them short, like between 6 to 9 seconds long, I found is the key, where people will watch the whole thing, especially if there's writing on there, they'll watch them kind of multiple times. Keeping them easy to recreate. Some of my best ones are super easy to recreate. They don't take a lot of effort. So I think the more people click on the audio, even if it's not your original audio, and save it, or will make their own reel really quick, Instagram's like, oh, this is great. We want more people on our app. So they'll push it out even more. And then I would say making them edutaining. So entertaining people, keeping them short, and then educating in the captions. So I try to draw people in with a cover photo of what the topic is, entertain in the reel, and educate in the caption. And yeah, it's kind of my go-to formula now.
A lot of great info right off the bat there.
Well, you
asked for my secrets, so I'm like, there you go. There's all my secrets.
No, we love it. The 6 to 9 seconds is really interesting because that seems to be the formula now. I just posted a video today that was 1.5 minutes long of these guys dancing outside the car by the Property Brothers-in-Law, who everyone should follow. They're hilarious. And the thing did, I don't know, 1/10 of what the reels that I post are doing. And 1.5 minutes is not that long of a video. So I think we're at a point now where all content creators, including Matt, including myself, need to really focus on that 6 to 9 seconds, because what you said about how they watch it over again, and if you have text and they're actually reading it, is really helpful to create that virality.
Yeah, that reel was hilarious, by the way. I watched the whole thing.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. That's good for the algorithm. What was your first ever reel? So that one you posted in July of 2021, what was that?
So it was a friend's audio with Ross, and he said, like, at first I was like, and then I'm not going to say the whole audio, but anyways,
maybe.
Yeah, you've probably seen the audio, but it was Ross like being like stressed out about something. And then he says like, but then as I've had time to absorb it, it's all working out. And I said something like, when someone I know lists with another agent who charges them a full 6% and doesn't, stage or properly market their home. I said something like that. So I feel like it was the perfect way to make it something to get my message across. Like, hey, if you're paying 6%, do your research and make sure you're getting an agent who's putting the work in, putting the marketing in, staging your house, and who's good. It got my message across because I wrote that all out in the caption. It caught people's attention because I'm like doing this audio from friends, and you know, it's entertaining. And I've just found it's such a good way to get any message across like that, to get out what I'm trying to say. If I would have just written that out on some post, people would have been like scrolled through and not absorbed it. But because people are like being entertained in the reel, then they're reading the caption and they're able to like retain the information and remember it a lot easier. So
You should do Pivot by Friends too. On like, you know, that episode where they're trying to get the couch up the stairs and he keeps saying pivot. Have you seen that one? That'd be
haven't. I'm not like a huge Friends person. That was just like a trending audio, so I used it. I've watched a few of them, but
so do all your trending audios come from TikTok and then you reuse it onto Reels, or do you actually find some on Reels as well?
I find most of them on Reels because it's just a lot easier. So I did find one on TikTok that actually ended up being my most viral reel ever. It was audio from Austin Powers where Dr. Evil says, "How about no?" So I was just on TikTok and I saw a guy doing that one. I'm like, oh my gosh, this one would be perfect for so many different things. This audio is hilarious. I have to bring it over to Instagram. So I searched that guy on Instagram and he had posted that reel like a few months ago and it didn't really go anywhere. So I used his audio, and then that one like blew up. And I think like so many agents used it for themselves. It was so easy to do. Literally all you say is, "How about no?" You don't have to memorize anything. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to dance. You don't have to point. And so I think because so many people recreated it, that one just went crazy. But most of them I find on Instagram.
So you're saying that wasn't even a trending audio. This became trending and you got so many views because people used your audio initially.
Yes, I think that's why it blew up. Like when because I found him on TikTok, then I went and searched him on Instagram. He had posted his his TikTok on Instagram as a reel. I think it had the TikTok watermark. So his hadn't really gone viral. But once I used it, I think a ton of people started using it and it just blew up the audio and blew up my reel. So it was super random, but I was like, sweet.
How many views did that get?
8 million.
See, that is insane. That is that.
What's your most, Eric?
Like 1 point. No, I think I have one that has like 2.4 and then another couple in the millions. And Paige has like 3 or 4 in the millions.
Yeah.
And this is with a following of, 23,000 basically.
I can't.
So that just shows you the virality of these.
Insane.
What happened?
Virality is the word of the day, apparently.
Yeah, it is. I've said it like 5 times already. We'll title it in the episode. So what happened when you get 8 million views on a reel? What happens after that? Like, are you getting follows? Are you getting business?
I was getting like 1,000 followers a day. It was crazy. And I got a ton of hate comments. Like people are just like, real estate agents are the scum of the earth. The words that I put on that reel, I like turn around in my chair and I said, "How about no?" And the words I put on are, when the seller wants to price their house super high just to see what happens. And so people were commenting like, of course you don't want to price their house high. You just want a quick commission. Real estate agents suck, blah, blah, blah. And there was so many comments, like every 2 seconds, that it got a little overwhelming, but I was also getting like 1,000 followers a day at the same time. And now I'm getting consistent business solely from reels, and that boosted my following a ton. But now, I say I get a reel that has 1 million views. I don't know, maybe like once a month even. So
Jesus,
Doesn't that kind of piss you off, Matt?
It pisses me off.
Sorry.
Look at Matt's videos. Matt creates these 30-second, minute-long skits, music videos. He's in character and stuff. And you just flipped around in a chair and said, "How about no?" You got 8 million views. It's
and
nuts.
A bunch of business.
Yeah, and thousands of followers a day. Like this is, it's amazing.
I don't deserve it. Your videos are amazing. Like I told you the one you did about the divorce situation was incredible. It was so funny. But I think it's because mine are so easy to recreate. They're very simple. I make them in 2 seconds. So people are using that audio and and they're just super easy and
But
simple.
did you see my lip sync on TikTok? I did a
I
lip
did
sync.
see it. That was great.
Nothing.
The lip
I don't
syncs don't
Sometimes-
work as well for us, Matt. You know,
it's nothing. I mean, I don't know. Know what
What
I
did
do
you
enjoy.
what did you
did
say
the,
on it?
I do actually cuss a little. That one.
Oh yeah, that
I
one's
know. I think
perfect
it's
for
over.
you.
I think it's overdone
Yeah.
now. But I mean, know what I do enjoy on your TikTok page is when you clap back when you get like a mean comment and you talk about it. It's really funny. I saw one the other day and they're saying like you got on you're too old to get on the young TikTok or something. I don't know what it was. I don't know if you know the one I'm talking about.
She said she's way too old for the hot Instagram algorithm or something.
Yeah. And then then you're like, I just want to get on the real estate Instagram or the people trying to buy real estate or TikTok or whatever.
exactly.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I like that shit.
Yeah.
Did that
I
do
feel
well?
like I feel like when you reply to comments on there and mess with people a little bit, people like it, and that does well on TikTok. I don't really do that on Instagram. I keep my Instagram a little bit more streamlined and like professional-ish looking. And then on TikTok, I feel like people don't really they want to see the real you. They want, like, I'll post stuff with no makeup. I'll mess around on TikTok a little bit more. One, I don't know hardly anyone following me on there, so I don't care as much. I can experiment. I don't have as many followers. And then, and yeah, I think people like to see just real stuff of you talking and, messing around and being funny more so than Instagram. I keep a little bit more professional and like educational.
why the
So-
TikTok comments are so much more savage because your feed isn't necessarily people you follow. So you have way more freedom to just talk shit, basically. And then the user also has more freedom to talk shit back to that person because they don't even recognize that username. In Instagram, you have this extreme familiarity with all of your followers where you see that comment or pop up, on a daily basis. And
Yeah.
it is way more kind of like, like booted, basically. Not booted. What's the word I'm looking for? Professional.
Yeah, I feel like on Instagram, if someone leaves a mean comment, people will like come to your offense, and people are a little bit more scared to be mean on Instagram because people will be mean back to them. On TikTok, nobody cares. People will just see your feed and be like, "Look at this bitch, what an idiot," and just comment on it. And then, you can reply to their comment and make fun of them. And I actually think they can't delete their comment once you do a video replying to them.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, so
I need to start doing that. I get a lot of bad comments on TikTok. They
You
fucking hate me
should.
on that app. And my 2,200 followers I do have. Another one I liked, Paige, was the one you were replying to another comment, and then your husband was in the back. He was like, "Don't be a dick, Jeremy," or whatever. That was
yeah.
a funny one too.
I think that guy said something like the most cringy content on TikTok is real estate agents, and he named a couple. And I'm like, you should probably stop commenting on real estate agents' pages if
I
you don't want
know.
to keep seeing them on your algorithm. But
I would.
Aren't people so dumb? Like they're just so dumb on there.
yeah, people are mean. So
I would kind of agree that realtor content is some of the cringiest, but you do a good job at it. Like the lip syncing is kind of a talent. And
thank you.
you actually like move well to the beats. I know that sounds
This is
stupid,
the
but seriously.
worst. This is the worst compliment. The
No,
lip
it's
syncing
not. This is actually
kind of a talent.
it
You
is
have to
kind of-
commit to it.
100% it is. Like I've done a couple lip syncing videos on TikTok that have done really well. And you see people who half-ass it, who their lips are off from the vocals. And it's awful. It's just like, how could you even possibly post that? Like, do you think that you're in sync with that? Or they're not even doing facial expressions? Like you do have to have some sort of, acting ability to pull that off. And it's the easiest form, I think, but it's also takes a lot of work. Not to be
Yeah.
insulting saying it's the easiest form, but you know what I mean.
So
Like,
far, Paige, you said that. How do you get so many views? You just turn around in a chair and say, "How about no?" Matt's doing these skits. Oh, but it is kind of a talent, I guess. That's good.
No,
I like it.
No,
I'm praising
I
you.
agree. It's super easy. And I would say that the biggest thing is like, obviously you have to commit and like be on the actual words, but also having it be something that actually applies to the topic that you're putting it to.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
but yeah, I'm still shocked. I'm like, I can't believe all these people are following me for these little like lip sync videos, and yeah, yours definitely take a lot more effort. You deserve more views than mine.
we're not
that's for
saying you
sure.
don't deserve it.
No,
We
you
love what you
deserve
do.
it. You deserve it for sure. We're just bitter.
Yeah.
is what we are. Anyone who gets more views than us, we're bitter. So
7 years of posting. 7
Dang it.
years. Nothing over 2.5 million.
385,000 followers.
Yeah, exactly.
He's essentially he's almost at 1 million, and he can't even get.
Can't even get it. Yeah.
So what did you do before this? And obviously you're a real estate agent, but how are you getting business before Reels and social media?
So I was getting business solely off of my SOI and referrals. So I started in real estate about 8 years ago as a buyer's agent to hit the ground running and learn quickly. And then I left and I just went under a local guy who charged me like a minimum amount and just kind of did it on the side while I had kids. And then I really started getting back into it, I'd say 2 or 3 years ago, full time. And all of my deals would come from like people I had worked with from the past, someone they would know, a referral, or just friends and family. But I felt like I was like hustling for every single deal. And, I would send little reminders, or I hated that part. Like I hated feeling like I was desperate for people to use me, or like I would be so bummed if like someone I knew, didn't go with me. Now I'm like so grateful that people are coming to me. They're just DMing me or calling me directly from my contact info and my link in my bio. So now it's completely changed where I am just almost overwhelmed with business, and people are calling me consistently, DMing me, just like, I want to sell my house, not interviewing anyone else. They've like seen all my content and like they're ready to go. So it's awesome.
Are you getting referrals from agents also?
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of referrals. I've gotten like a few $1 million referrals from them, and
Did you say from men?
from
Yeah,
them,
I thought
from
you said
them.
that Oh, I
No.
was like, oh, okay.
It's like,
that was a
okay.
weird
No, it's
way
actually
of-
been, no, all my referrals have been from females, actually.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
No.
Sweet. So are you ever concerned about your clients seeing your reels? I mean,
Absolutely.
Like, do you ever think they're a little too goofy? And I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying,
Oh,
did they ever think
absolutely.
yeah, you come from the two goofiest motherfuckers in the
Exactly.
business, so don't worry.
Yeah, sometimes just recently, actually, I got a new, like a good buyer, like, she wants to buy a couple $1 million. And I was like, she's going to see that one. She's going to think I'm a fool. Like, but I'm like, well, hopefully she likes it because they're out there now. But I do think about that. I'm like, well, when I'm making this one, I've got to come across as professional, because like, is this person that's buying like a $2 million house really going to want to work with like some goofball that's like, just like pointing around to reels and like, lip syncing. So I really try to switch it up. So sometimes if I do a goofy one that's like more funny, then I'll really try to make the next one more educational and about like some tip or topic that's going to be helpful. So I try not to post a bunch in a row that are like where I'm goofing off, and I don't want to make it too boring too, where it's just educational stuff. So I try to alternate and switch it up kind of throughout the month and
Yeah.
week.
Smart.
You never really know. I mean, I always say rich people like to laugh too.
Yeah.
I got like a $2.2 million buyer from my Freddie Mercury video.
Oh,
And
nice.
and it was 2 lawyers, like the last
Oh.
kind of people you would think, would want
Yeah.
to buy with me from dressing up like Freddie Mercury and walking around a house. So I guess you never really know, but I get it too. Like sometimes you get kind of self-conscious almost about it, because you're
Yeah.
just like, shit, are these people going to see it? And
I know. I'll think back on the ones they're going to see. I think if you have your like proof of success mixed in there, that's why I always alternate. I'll do a reel and then a still post with like a carousel, and those don't do as well. Like I get way better engagement on my reels, but I do that so that when people do go to my page, it looks more professional and it's educational. And I hope that I'm taken more seriously than just only posting, these reels that are kind of goofy.
Matt, I'm stopping the podcast.
okay,
Guess what I was doing today?
what?
Scrolling through real estate Facebook groups to get content. But instead of content, I got something else. You know what that was?
No.
The same question over and over again. What is the best real estate CRM?
Yes. This is the most frequently asked question in real estate agent history, Eric. Don't you know that?
No chance.
Well, I'm going to let you know a little secret here. So come close. All right. The people have spoken, and the answer is unequivocally Boomtown. Boomtown is the #1 user rated real estate CRM with all of the tools and tech you need to generate and convert conversation ready leads. To check out Boomtown and see how you can score $750 in free digital advertising, visit boomtownry.com/overask. Now that's Boomtown, ROI.com/overask.
But you do a great job, even with the funny reels, is in your caption, you're actually explaining something that's educational. So a lot of people will just do the funny caption up top in the reel, and then, nothing really in the physical caption itself, but you have like really long, paragraphs that describe what you're talking about. So you're still providing value. It's not like you even have to be providing value in the reel itself. It's the caption. So that's really smart.
Oh yeah, every single thing I do, I want it to be helpful, where you don't want it just become about you. Like, oh, do I look good in this reel? Is this funny? Or is this, so every single thing I do, I try to at least make it helpful in some way, add value. And then, yeah, the cover photo I use to draw people in, like, oh, what is this topic about? The reel is at least semi-entertaining. And then I always educate at least somewhat in the caption.
Yeah, there's a lot of thought that goes into these. Do you use the cover photos for every reel? Or is it for a specific one?
I use them for most of them, and I'll put what it's about, like just a basic topic. But sometimes because I think it's good to have your face on your main profile. So if like within my 9 grid of like my 9 most recent posts, if my face hasn't been on one of them, I'll try to like either add it on one of my carousels or my still posts, or just take a still from the reel and use that as the cover photo. Because I think it's important for people to like see your face. Otherwise your page looks too boring.
Now, I'm not sure, but I heard this on TikTok about carousel posts that they're popular again, or they're popular now because when you see the carousel post and you don't swipe through it all, it will come back again in the feed and just show another photo.
Yeah,
to that
that's
same
true.
person.
I
So you
have
get
seen
more
that.
views and stuff.
Yeah, I have seen that actually with other people. Like they're like, you didn't like
Yeah.
it the first time, we're gonna try it again. So
It's weird because they're trying to
yeah.
push videos so much. But it's
Yeah.
weird because like Eric, some of your photos, mainly like text. I
Mhm.
mean, like your Twitter stuff, like your Twitter captions or like actual text messages you post, they get some of like they crush sometimes.
Yeah, the
more
still
than
images,
Reels.
the still images are still crushing for me, but also to carousels on TikTok, it's because you're spending more time on them too. And Instagram is always just wanting you to spend as much time on the app as possible. So those are the second best alternative to video and to reels. And then another trick I'm trying is I did this a couple of days ago is I posted a tweet, but I had like a moving background and threw a song on it, asking
Yeah.
people, what song would they want when they're walking up to their listing presentation. It was like you're headed towards the house, but it was really kind of just a text-based post and did not do well. And I thought it was genius.
I noticed it was completely off the grid within 15 minutes.
Yeah, I pulled it from the grid immediately. But the comments were crushing. But I think TikTok kind of, or maybe Instagram, like knows that that's a hack or something like that. But I've seen Instagram coaches, that guy Brock, that Paige,
Yeah.
Brock, who we didn't mention yet, but he's a great follow, Brock Johnson. But he talked about doing that as a strategy, is actually recording a reel that's a static image post and just having it like repeat or something.
Huh. Interesting. And I think for you too, because yours are funny, like a still post is great for a quick laugh and a comment, but for like actual educational information, it's so much easier for people to retain it if it's in a video. For some reason, I found like I've done this a couple of times where I've posted the exact same information as in a carousel. One was like a 2022 Utah market forecast, and I did a swipe through of like what the Association of Realtors here is saying, the 5 things they're saying for 2022. And then I posted it the next day, the same information as a reel, where I'm just like, it's just to some song, and I was like putting it on the video, and it was like 10,000 reach versus like 100,000. Like insane. Yeah. And then I've done the same with my staging. Like I'll post a carousel of a picture and a picture before and after of staging, and then I'll do it to music in a video, and it's like 10 times the reach in a video. So
Yeah.
for my stuff, what I'm putting out, people just retain it so much better and remember me so much better in video form. So
Do you pull content when it's not performing well?
I don't know. All my content performs so well.
Oh, what a good
Damn.
answer.
Must be nice, huh?
No,
You don't ever
I
just remove it from the grid or anything?
Yeah.
I don't think
A
I
soft
have.
pull?
Go
Also,
take a
I'm
cold shower and
Yeah.
cry.
also
the
I'm
driving
OCD.
range.
I'm OCD. It would mess up my alternating. It would
Yeah,
mess
you
up my
do.
like still versus real. So even if it performs bad, I feel like yeah, I wouldn't pull it. I think I pulled one at the very beginning when I started doing it. So I had that first reel get like 20,000 views. Then I didn't have another one go viral. Like that was viral for me at the time. I didn't have another one go viral like that till I think I posted like 25 reels. And then my 25th one got like 1 million views. And then after that, I've consistently had a few that get 1 million. But I think every single one, I never had one get under like 5,000. So 5,000 for me was great when I had 800 followers, you know. But yeah, sometimes my still posts do horribly. I'm like, how do I have 22,000 followers and 100 people like my thing? Like, and I understand now that like if a bunch of people aren't liking it at first, Instagram's like, oh, your content probably sucks, so we're not going to push it out to anyone else. But I still leave it and I just try to make them as good as possible. And oh well.
Do you do any engagement tactics for that reel? Do you use hashtags? Do you post it to your story immediately? What do you do to get more engagement?
I always save it on my own account, and then on my personal account, I go and save it. And then I have one other account with my sisters. I save it. I always share it to my own story. And then I use hashtags. I don't know how well hashtags really affect it, but I use hashtags like Utah real estate agent, my city real estate agent, my city realtor. I'll try it for different cities, like in my surrounding area, because when people search for me, I want to pull up, but I don't know that hashtags affect the views too much. Sometimes maybe you get lucky, but I also don't do too many engagement tactics because they just feel inauthentic to me. Like comment your favorite color or like comment what you think about this
Yeah,
reel.
true.
Because when I see people doing that, I'm kind of
I don't know
like,
what you think about this
no.
reel. This is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Just forcing
That'd be
people to
funny.
come up with
Tell me
something.
what you think about this
Exactly.
reel.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people do that and I'm like, it just feels so fake. They don't actually care. People know I don't actually care.
Yeah.
So I'll usually just say DM me for questions or DM me to set up a free buyer consultation or, you know, listing consultation. But I don't really ask for comments. But yeah, I feel like a lot of times when I put information out there that's like makes real estate agents look good, people share it because they want like their followers to see it. And I think that always helps a ton.
Yeah, people begging for the engagement is kind of pathetic in the caption, I think. Like people always say like save this post or share this.
Yeah.
It's just like they'll do it if they want to.
The way I
Yeah.
do it though is like, has this happened to you at a showing?
Yeah.
And then it like starts conversations in your comments, which is sick.
Yeah, that's different when it's like something legitimate where someone's going to comment something funny or that you want to go to the comments and read them.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
it's something lame, it's like,
Oh yeah.
it feels inauthentic, you know?
Even the giveaways. I'm not a big giveaway person either. I don't.
Algorithm crushes giveaways now.
Oh, I know.
They
Yeah.
completely destroy them in a bad
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Like if you do a giveaway or say tag 3 friends, they pick up on keywords too. So even if you say tag people in the
Mhm.
caption, Instagram will suppress that.
Yeah.
So if
Oh,
you say like
interesting.
tag someone that, you know, also can't open a lockbox or something stupid like that.
Yeah. Well, Buddy,
then it'll crush it.
Buddy just came out. The Instagram guy. I always forget his name.
Brock.
No,
Buddy?
his name's not Buddy. The actual like guy at Instagram.
Oh, Adam Nassiri.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
said hashtags don't really like get your content out further. Like he said that in his live or whatever.
They're
Yeah,
good for
it's-
searchability.
Yeah, for searchability, but not. He said it may end up. You may, like you said, Paige may like luck out and end up in like a good hashtag group or whatever, and just like get to the top of a hashtag page, but not really.
Yeah, I use them mainly because I've had people say, they'll say, oh, I found you on Instagram. I was searching Traverse Mountain real estate agent, you know, so that's why I do them consistently for when people search, but I don't think they help with views.
You know what does
Yeah.
help is having those long captions for SEO purposes, they're kind of like blogs now. So if you're talking about a pre-approval process or something like that, and you don't just have it in your actual reel, but you have that in the caption and people search something about mortgages or pre-approval, you're more likely to pop up. So your caption's basically your hashtag now. So that's why like Jason Pantana, Tom Ferry coach, he's got like essays as captions, because he knows that anytime you search anything about Instagram strategy from a real estate perspective, he's going to pop up.
Gotcha. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite accounts to follow?
So I love for real audio ideas. I love that Brock, his handle is Brock 11 Johnson, I think. Pink Sparrow Social is another great one. And then now I have like some great real estate accounts I follow, like Bethany Nolan, realtor. I don't know if you guys follow her. She has like, she stays up on like good audios. She has great ideas for like actual real estate related stuff. But yeah, as far as ideas, I'd say those are my two favorite accounts, Brock and that Pink Sparrow Social girl.
Well, we asked for Paige to mention Eric and I in that.
Yeah. What the
but-
hell was that?
Oh, duh. You guys are my
Uh,
favorite, my number one
all
favorite
right.
followers.
We'll have to
Follows.
cut around
We'll have to,
that.
cut that and redo this entire thing. Are you kidding me?
No, Eric,
Eric-
I posted like forever ago. I had found your account after I'd posted a couple of reels. I'd never seen it. And I found it, I think in like August or something. And I think I posted on my story, like, how am I just finding this account? This is hilarious. I posted the Chris Farley one where he's like, Mrs. Onaker and friends into
Yeah,
a tree. And anyways, no, you
It's-
guys both have great stuff.
I didn't follow
you.
Eric until like 3 years in as well. And once I found Broke Agent, I didn't know how I hadn't seen it either.
Yeah.
It's weird. And like Eric and I talk about that too. Like even like when he'll post me, like I'll get followers, but it's like, how haven't you seen me yet? Like, it's like, I don't know. I get it's like,
It just shows not everyone's like us where they're on Instagram.
Yeah, where
every
they're on
single
all the
day.
time.
We think everyone thinks like us, Matt and I
Yeah,
specifically.
no one cares.
And
as
we're
much.
on nonstop. Like we know what everyone's posting at all times. Like we're up on the trends culturally and what everyone in the real estate community is doing. Like we're constantly talking about it and talking about how to, make our content better. But most agents are just kind of maybe popping on once a week or something like that.
Yeah,
and then maybe they're not even scrolling. Maybe they're just publishing. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think that too sometimes. I'm like, how did Dan O'Neill just pick up 1,000 followers after I just posted? Like, haven't they seen him on my page like
Yeah.
every week?
Because
What
you
the hell's
post
going
like
on?
Dan and I a lot. And
Yeah.
I know it's crazy.
I feel like
Um,
there's like the community of realtors that are on Instagram and then like the world of agents that are not. Like now when I see people just like that aren't on Instagram, I feel like I don't know them. I'm like, how are you getting this business? I feel like,
Yeah, like, what do you even
everything's
do?
on Instagram because that's where all of my stuff is. But anyways, yeah, I feel like I know everyone on there now and follow most of
I
the
had
big ones.
breakfast today with a 42-year-old realtor in Beverly Hills, extremely successful. And he does
Are you gonna
absolutely
name a
nothing.
name or
I'm not going
what?
to name a name. This breakfast never happened. Actually, I'm just using it for my point. No, it did happen. Bagels.
Okay. Bagel. I
he-
had a bagel today too.
Oh, nice. What was on your bagel?
Yeah.
Just
It was
kidding, no one
cheddar
cares.
herb, light cream cheese.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
And I was talking to him because he's a really funny guy and he's like a good singer and a good impressionist. And we've
I
always
didn't have
talked
breakfast
about,
with you this morning though.
no, it wasn't you. It wasn't
Oh,
you.
okay.
We know what you were doing today. You were speaking at that conference and you
Yeah.
posted about it 5,000 times.
Yeah, I did.
You going to keep derailing the story here or can I?
Yeah, I want to know who it is.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Like,
not going
keep
to tell you who
going.
it is. This guy wouldn't want me to drop his age or anything like this.
Okay,
So
it's Sirhan.
the guy's
Yeah, keep
really
going.
talented. He's a good singer. He's a good impressionist. And we always talked about doing some real estate show. And we're like, this is too much to do an actual show. Like we're creating Broke Agent Media. There's going to be it's a massive platform where you could actually post content to it, whether it's blogs, reels, YouTubes, whatever. And as I was talking to him about like Instagram reels and TikToks and like how he could do short form stuff that costs no money and takes no time, he had no idea what I was talking about. He knows it exists. And this is like a pretty hip, like 42-year-old, and he's done nothing. He's built no digital footprint whatsoever. And it was like enlightening for him. And that kind of opened my perspective. Like there's so many realtors out there that aren't in this world like we are, that are still thinking of social media as just kind of a fun thing to do on the side, or maybe a nuisance, and they're still doing real estate, lead generation, how they've done traditionally. So it was pretty eye-opening.
Wow.
Thoughts?
I really want to know who that is. That's my only thought. Trying to think. Who do you think it is, Paige, if you had to choose? LA Realtor 42.
If he's not on Instagram, I have no idea.
It was
So,
Josh
That's
Flagg,
true.
if you must know.
Yeah, it's Josh Altman.
Yeah,
Josh
yeah,
and
exactly.
Matt Altman.
It was both Joshes.
Huh. Yeah, I can't imagine. Now I'm just like, gosh, I'm getting so much consistent deals straight from Instagram and straight from TikTok, with people literally calling me and be like, I saw your TikTok, I want to list my house. That I'm like, oh, I can't imagine going back to like having to make my calls. That sucks.
Yeah, that sounds awful. And now it's like
Yeah.
a fun creative outlet. It's like you get to check your engagement every day, and that's
Yeah.
like a dopamine booster as well.
Yeah.
I think, just for us, maybe. I don't know if everyone loves that like we do. I mean,
Yeah.
when we hit on a post,
Feels good.
we take our wives out for dinner. Like,
I wouldn't go that
like
far.
the whole thing.
Maybe I'll clean up.
Yeah, maybe. Paige, let's get
That's-
into some cool questions here, okay?
Okay.
I'm not gonna call it a lightning round, but because it's not a lightning round. But I just want to get some cool questions. Ready for this?
I'm ready.
Paige, what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you at a showing?
I mean, there was a guy in the shower once. We like walked in the bathroom and the door was closed with the shower running. So I was like, I don't really know what to do. Is he gonna like walk out naked? So I was like, well, we better leave. That was awkward. But yeah, off the top of my head, it's probably the most awkward thing.
Not as bad as Eric's with the guy with the shotgun.
Oh yeah, I had a guy pull a shotgun on me when I was sitting in open house once. The seller.
That really happened.
Yeah, it really happened. He was kidding.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm not gonna
That should
tell
be a
this
story
again,
for
but
TikTok, though, Eric.
It would be a good TikTok story or a blog post or something. But there's definitely something there. It was a horrific experience.
He hasn't
What's-
been the same since.
What's the worst mistake you've ever made in your real estate career?
The worst mistake. Oh my gosh, I almost made a huge mistake yesterday, but I didn't actually make it, thank heaven. So I have one of my own deals. I'm selling it. I'm like, I would fire myself if I was my own listing agent because I don't have time to do my own, but it's like an STR and we're selling it. I'm going to 1031 it into something else. And the buyer's agent's name was like, his initials were JG. And then I just got a listing under contract and the buyer's agent had the same initials. It was JG, different names. But I got it under contract. And then a couple hours later, my house had been under contract for a couple weeks. I hadn't even thought about it. So I got a text a few hours after putting my listing under contract saying like, I'm so sorry, the buyers are canceling. I'm just like, oh my gosh, that was so fast. I can't believe they're canceling. So I went to the next offer. I said, hey, it looks like you're going to get the deal. And I went to my sellers. I said, I'm so sorry, but this next one is still a great offer. So I sent them a small counter to sign to send to this second buyer and sent them the cancellation. And they said, this isn't the cancellation for our house. Like, because I had just forwarded them the email because they asked to see it. And so then I pulled up my email. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a completely different cancellation. And I was like this close to going under contract with 2 different buyers. And anyways, it would have been a disaster. And I need to like label people in my phone better because yeah, that would have sucked. But luckily it didn't actually happen.
So that was just an almost mistake though.
It was an almost mistake. Yeah.
What about like when you first started out? Did you do anything that you regret?
Well, when I first started, I was under somebody. So I started as a
Okay.
buyer's agent. So I was kind of like babysat a little bit. So by the time I went out on my own, I was pretty experienced. So nothing too crazy. Sorry. Not the most exciting
No,
stuff.
it's okay. Matt, what about you?
Yeah, let's take this out of the whole podcast. No, I'm joking. The worst mistake I've had, I mean, there's some stuff where I was
You
supposed to
killed your seller.
yeah, no. There was some stuff where I was supposed to like firm up. I don't know if it's the same in the States, but like when we have conditions in an offer, we have to send in like a notice of fulfillment once those conditions are fulfilled. So like there's a couple times where like early on I didn't know you had to send that. So it actually like the conditions expired, which meant they could put it back on the market and my buyers didn't actually get it, but they wanted to fulfill the conditions. So I had to do a lot of sweet talking.
These are real
And,
devastating mistakes here. These are
Well,
criminal mistakes.
I mean, I was showing someone a house and I was showing someone leases in a condo and I didn't know where I was going. It was my first like month in real estate. My phone died and I just didn't know where I was going. So I had to park my car and I ran down the street and found a Keller Williams. And I came in to the Keller Williams to this lovely lady named Angelica. And I said, I was out of breath. And she was very scared that I came barging in and I said, I need a charger. And she said, okay. And then I charged my phone and I found where I was going.
That's the worst. If I don't have my GPS,
Yeah,
I can't get anywhere.
No.
My phone died on my way to a showing the other day and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to figure out how to get here based off of the address. Luckily in Utah, there's kind of a grid system. So I figured it out. But then once I got there, I realized I couldn't open the lockbox because my phone was dead. So I had
Classic mistakes.
I know.
What was yours, Eric? Like
I killed one of my sellers. No, I this is not a terrible mistake that I made, but it did lose a listing from my boss. It was a hot summer's day in July of 2014.
Jeez.
And I was putting out open house signs, running around. We had like 4 open houses that day. And I get there. This is on Broker's Caravan on Tuesdays. I get there at 10:45 a.m. Seller said that they wanted us there by 10:30. The seller's sitting there waiting for me. And I go in, I bend over to tie my shoe and I put my water bottle on this dresser. Take the water bottle off. There's a small, condensation ring there. Basically, I try to wipe it off immediately. She sees that, calls my boss immediately and says, I never want to see this asshole in my house again. Listing got canceled literally the day after. So
did you get fired?
No, he actually had my back because the seller was obviously a enormous pain in the ass to care about. Well, I mean, a condensation ring is kind of a big deal, but
yeah,
to make me feel like I had committed, murder or something. Yeah, exactly. I didn't respect wood, and I would never make that mistake again. That's for damn sure. So anytime you're showing a house or anytime you are at a listing appointment, you got to put your water bottle down, make sure it's not wood.
Okay. So, I mean, that's a big, everyone
bigger mistake than
there.
You guys. I mean, you guys combined, your mistake was literally nothing.
He said, I'm never going to make that mistake again. He's never going to be in a house for a listing appointment.
That's right. Because we created
a water bottle
media company.
I know. I'm not saying that as a bad, but you're saying I'm never going to make that mistake again. Yeah, I know. Unless you're in like
people at home, if they want to know
Dave Portnoy's house and he respects wood.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, okay. That was, I guess no one really has. People in the comments, if you have a really bad mistake you made, put it in the comments on YouTube. We want to know.
Yeah, we could use some inspiration here for these.
I know this is awful. But one thing, if you are watching the video, Paige looks like she looks 2062 Britney Spears with her headset.
Gamer.
I would say Call of Duty Warfare gamer.
Yeah, I was just gonna say she's gonna game
Modern Warfare.
I know. It's my husband's fault. I'm like, hey, I need wire headphones. That's what the instructions say. And he shows up with these like 10 minutes ago. I'm like, these are gamer headphones.
Yeah, he's going to use them in like 10 minutes once we're off of this.
Probably. I know, but it's fine.
That's awesome. Well, Eric, do you have your question prepared? Your last question?
let's get Paige to 25,000 followers here. Paige, where can the people follow you?
They can follow me at Utah Real Estate Page on Instagram and on TikTok and on YouTube now. I just started a YouTube channel, just mainly listing videos, but Utah Real Estate Page. That's the Utah Real Estate Page. Yep.
Clever.
People, it's genius. And if you're watching on YouTube, please throw us a like if you enjoyed this content. Drop us a comment. Tell us your craziest real estate story, your biggest mistake. And subscribe because we got some fire guests coming up.
Yeah, but smash that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Absolutely smash. Okay, Paige, thanks so much for being on.
Okay, thanks guys. Thanks for having me.
The Broke Agent presents Over Ask Podcast.